see and hear you. And me counting in, apparently. Hi, everybody!
Yeah.
Welcome in!
Friends.
Hello.
What's everybody doing?
Oh my god.
You
Guys,
know, I should have maybe posted about this.
well, you know what? We gotta do announcements, which take forever in a second, so you can do it then. But before you do, guys, you're here for Highlight Heroes. Parker is remote, but she's amazing, so she's still
I'm
here.
on vacation.
See, I go on vacation and I just don't touch anything because I'm a jerk. Parker is this dedicated. Like,
Still working.
That's not how
still
that works.
here.
Hi, guys.
But we're also here with the amazing Amanda, Witchy Brew. Amanda, where can folks find you?
I am on all social medias in some form of Witchy Brew. Instagram, it's witchy.brew. Twitter, it is Witchy Brew with 2 W's at the end. Twitch, it's just Witchy Brew. If you want to add me to PlayStation Network, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I've messaged people for all Witchy Brew, and you know what? They decided to keep it. They never responded. So it's a fun little game. It's like scavenger hunt. But you can find me at Witchy Brew on most things.
Oh, man. Well, thank you for joining us. We're going to do some quick announcements so that you can do your social media post. That's the sole reason we're going to do them. And then we'll get into, like, the questions proper. I'm over here shaking paint. That's my awkward dance for the evening. Parker, what do you got?
I'm here to talk about your schedule, which I have memorized, which is good. So we don't have any Off the Rails or Conundrum Company this week because Sunday you can join us at 6 p.m. Eastern for our very first, our very first crossover episode of the 2 campaigns called Off the Sails. It's going to be absolute chaos.
It's going to be good. Oh, man.
Absolute chaos.
That's right. Okay, that's really it, right? We're having a bit of a chill week, which is nice.
Yeah, it's a chill week, and then we will be back with our regularly scheduling program the following week. But that is on Instagram if you need any reminders.
Well, thanks, Parker. And of course, we couldn't do any of this amazing program without our sponsors, the first of whom is Skull Splitter Dice. Thank you. Skull Splitter Dice, not only do they sponsor our programs, I feel lonely when people don't respond like that anymore.
I know.
Yeah, it's sad. They also sponsor a raffle that you can get in on. We just did the drawing yesterday for this month's, but next month starts during the crossover episode, during Off the Sails, so be there to get in at the entryway. It's !win during those breaks, during our active campaigns. In the meantime, go check out their products. It's available on their storefront. Very good stuff. Just click on the link in chat or on the link in our About Us section. Of course, our second sponsor is the gooeyest of cube companies, Gooey Cube. They create a whole bunch of D&D 5e Homebrew World stuff for you game masters to use in your games. It is amazing. We've played with it. We highly recommend it. There's a whole bunch of it already out there, and you can get more of it in the works on their Kickstarter that was just successfully backed. Huge push. Tons of content. Very well made world. And of course, our last sponsor, Parker.
I'm here to talk about Elderwood, and hopefully Josh's is somewhere. Yeah, okay, perfect. I don't have mine. But if you would like to carry your dice with you all the time, go back their Kickstarter. There's a keychain version of what Josh is holding, and it's amazing. They actually did a giveaway with us like 2 weeks ago. It was amazing, but we would love for you guys to follow the link and let them know that we sent you. Their stuff is really good.
Let's open that bad boy up. Is it a book?
It's a book.
It's a spell
So
book.
fancy.
And you can put your
Those are the
little
Zal Killers.
minis. These are the Zal Killers. They get kept in the Elderwood box, which just makes them more powerful.
Which it's so we know when they come out, Josh.
They get more and more lethal the longer they sit in that Elderwood box. I'm telling you.
They're simmering.
That's right. They're stewing
They're just waiting
in
for
that
the
natural
next
20.
PC to kill.
Oh.
Yep.
God, that's terrible. We have a haberdashery. If you'd like to buy a cool hat like the one on my head, you could click on that haberdashery link in the chat, or go to our regular store for other stuff like stickers and cool content on the store page and About Us. Of course, the community event is running. Get in there if you want to see the cast of OTR and Conundrum Company in onesies playing D&D, because that's how you do it. Get those community points in there. Hit that goal of 1 million, which is insane. We're doing pretty well, honestly, so get in on that. Thank you to the folks who have helped us get our wiki set up. That is available. You can click through on chat to learn more about our campaigns and shows and all that jazz. Shout out to our players in our campaigns and Tanner Methalidor for helping get that done. And of course, last announcement, this month's charity, we'd like to focus our attention and efforts towards highlighting the First Nations Development Institute. First Nations Development Institute improves economic conditions for Native Americans through direct financial grants, technical assistance, and training, and advocacy and policy. I know many of you who are with us all week long hear us do these charities all week long. That is because they are fantastic charities and they are amazing places for you to spend your money. Before going to our store, before subscribing, consider going and spending money here. Again, the First Nations Development Institute, this is a very underserved population. We would love to see you guys going and supporting those people. I think that's it, Parker. Is that it?
That is it.
Oh my God, that means, Witchy, if you're ready to talk to us, we're gonna show people what we're making. Here, I'll start.
Woo.
I changed my mind. I didn't tell you. I told you guys I was going to paint mimics.
You did.
I forgot that my wife for Valentine's Day got me giant dwarf statue terrain. There's
Is that what it
two
looked like
of
in the
them.
Underdark? Is that what it looked like in the Underdark?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
Only
God,
bigger. They were like
that's
this,
awesome.
but yeah. So I'm gonna start painting these suckers. Parker, what are you
Cat,
doing?
best wife.
She is best wife.
I'm painting this little spider baby. Sorry if anybody has arachnophobia. I looked up black and red spiders, and I'm gonna attempt to paint him like a real one, which name I cannot pronounce. So,
That's terrifying.
yeah.
I'm so afeared. Witchy,
Afeared.
last but not least, what are you up to today? What's your crime?
I've drug my cricket into my room on my floor. And it usually has a designated space. But I am making tags for D&D dice bags. So they're going to have like little iron-ons. They're going to be made of leather, and they're going to say like bag of holding and have little pictures of dice on them. So yeah.
That's amazing.
I wasn't able to get a mini to paint quite yet, but I do have a cricket. So
This is our first appearance of a cricket machine on the show, so thank you for.
there he is. We could name him.
Ooh!
Have you not named your cricket yet?
No, I have not.
Chat, while we're starting off, start throwing some names in there for Witchy's cricket machine.
Truly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that then, it's question time. And this is the question we always kick off with, and I'm always curious, especially when folks are doing something different. Amanda, what's your mini painting experience, if any?
I don't have any mini painting experience. I do have prop painting experience. And I have full prop painting. Hold on.
Ooh.
Bye. I'll see you later.
Okay, bye. No. I love this show because it's kind of show and telly. It's one of my favorite things.
Like, I don't do that, but also I do this.
Yes, I have
this.
done
I
this.
But I am painting a master sword.
Ooh.
I figured I was gonna do it on stream too, but I haven't sanded it, and I felt like the sanding sound was not conducive.
That's
to
probably
an
a good
interview.
idea.
Like, hello.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do some little intricate stuff, but I have yet to bust into the world of mini painting. I told you this off stream, but I am hoping to get a resin printer soon, and I know that minis are just going to be like in my kitchen and
everywhere,
and used as little decoration once I do get them. How long have y'all been painting minis for?
Oh, that's a good question.
I actually had to look this up recently because I was looking for a reference picture of my little dragon because I left it at home. I think like a little over a year now.
Yeah.
Damn, Parker, look at you.
A little over a year now. Was me attempting to paint by myself, and then me having a conversation with Josh that was like, "Hey, do you want to stream you teaching me how to paint minis?"
It was a good time. It was a good time.
You're like, hey, let's do this as a stream, but it's also a hobby that I just want to get into.
Let's just hang
But
out
also, I just need help because I can't do this. I was like, help me, please.
And then it turned out you needed very little help.
Well, I needed some help.
How long have you been doing, Josh?
Oh God, I don't know, about 5 years, I think.
Yeah.
I've been painting minis. So I actually started painting minis before I started cosplaying, and so that led into, I made the, oh good lord, the crazy
The thing from
the dodecahedron from Critical Role.
Yes.
I used
Yes.
mini painting skills to do that. That was my first
That's
foray into it. Yeah. So a lot of the materials I used and the way that I handled like the paint was used from like priming and things like that with minis. And I will say, I think you're going to be a fantastic mini painter because those skills are more interchangeable than people think. Props are just bigger versions of minis.
Yeah.
Which is
I
probably
hope
why I
so.
like
I've
big
got-
minis.
A little bit of shaky hands my whole
Me
life,
too.
which is fun. Yeah, I think we've talked about this. I don't know if people know this on the show, but me and Parker have known each other before
Yes.
the inception of the Welcome In. We
That's true.
met each other in cosplay, or
Yeah.
from cosplay. We probably met each other in cosplay.
We probably did. Yeah.
From and
Yeah.
in, yeah.
Yeah, from and
Well,
in.
Which
But,
is
yeah.
exactly why when I decided to pitch Cosplay Ground, I was like, hey, Amanda. I was like, hey,
I was
hey,
like, yes, let's go. I'll do it.
let's do it.
That was the first fun cosplay ground. I think Sean was the
That was
DM.
so good.
Yep.
It
It was the
very
first
fun.
one.
You were a sweet little. Were you a warlock princess?
I was little druid gnome.
You were a druid.
I-
That's right.
I made a little Disney princess gnome.
You did. I was a apathetic rogue, as they always are.
Yes.
But it was a good time.
Oh, it was such a good premise, such a good cast. That was the Bone Boy. Bones.
Yeah, that was.
Yes!
Oh my god, was his name Kevin?
Yeah, I think it was Kevin. That sounds like Sean.
And I was a tiefling, and he looked at me and went, "Head bones,
Yeah.
outside bones."
Oh yeah, outside bone, and you were like, no, thank you.
Oh, that was
No,
so
no.
good.
That was fun. That was a good time.
God,
my
yes. Brilliant, fantastic. Okay. So I love this. We completely got off the rails.
We
Friday,
did.
7 p.m. Eastern.
I'm sorry.
Fridays at
I'm
7
going to
p.m.
ask you questions too. I know because I'm ADHD.
We love it. Like, please.
We love that.
It's better when this is a conversation.
Feel free. I will say our next question is mine, and I actually don't know the answer to this, so I am curious. How did you get into D&D?
Oh, I get into D&D.
That's a good
Like,
question.
how'd you get
Well,
into
I
playing?
know. I've told y'all that the Adventure Zone was like
Mhm.
my opening to it.
Yeah,
So
that's-
I
That'd be
think
so
that
good.
before I got into D&D, though, and before I got into the Adventure Zone, I did do a podcast about 3 or 4 years ago, like the year that I met Melanie, which was 2017. I did a Tales from the Loop podcast, which
Oh.
was not D&D, but it is a tabletop game. And my friends explained it to me at a bar when we could go to bars. And they were like, yeah, you just kind of like paint pictures with words. And if you want to do something, you just have to check if you can do it with dice. And are y'all familiar with Tales from the Loop?
I've never
I am
played.
not.
It's basically like Stranger Things.
Nice.
They have a anthology series on Amazon now. It's really good. But it's like you play kids and it's like set in the 80s, but there's futuristic stuff. And we did a podcast of that and it was fun. But as it does, sometimes it fizzles out. I'm sure you've all had that happen.
A mood, yes.
And I was like, that was a lot of fun. And my friend was telling me about a podcast, The Adventure Zone, and was like, you need to listen to it. And so I did, and I started cosplaying D&D characters before I even played D&D. And then I just started finding friends that were like, I play.
We went to the
Including
live
her.
show together.
We did, and I had Scaleras in because I was
Yes.
cosplaying Witch Loop, and I
Yep.
didn't see anything that whole. I heard a great live show.
Oh, that's amazing.
God, it was so funny.
That was a good time.
God,
I
I'd
miss
love
Dragon
to watch a
Con.
Taz live show.
Me too. Oh,
Yeah. Are they
Yeah, me
still
too.
doing? So I dropped off after Amnesty. Are they still doing the show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
they're on like I think the third. It's like graduation.
Yeah, Travis is DMing right now, I believe, right?
Oh, fun.
I keep telling myself I'm going to catch up, and then let's be real. There's so much stuff to listen to that I keep being like, I'll start that
Yeah.
sometime.
I'm
It's
Someday.
true.
So I
Yeah.
weirdly consume Taz through the graphic novels,
Oh.
Yeah.
which I adore, because I got a fair amount of the way through Balance, and that's when I started cosplaying Magnus. And then I had started just before we started Twee, so I didn't really finish anything. And now I'm like re-accessing it through the graphic novels, which are amazing if you haven't.
Taz is actually how Josh and I started actually talking.
That's
we
right.
followed each other for Critical Role, but
But we hung out.
Yeah,
I
it's
cosplay
fun
Best Wife.
how there's so many different types of air in different D&D media. Like you can have something like Taz where it's so funny and you're like cracking up and then you like cry sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have things like Critical Role where you're like on your seat the entire time. It's very serious and it's like what you make of it. And I think it's just so much fun.
It really is. That's 100% accurate.
Very true.
So
Very, very true.
then you got into Dungeons & Dragons kind of through tabletop RPGs and then doing some Taz and all that jazz. What's your favorite class to play? These are the big questions here. Here we get into judging you. No, I'm kidding. We would never do that.
You are not going to be surprised with what I say, I think.
Okay.
Or at least I don't know Parker well, but I always play warlocks.
Okay.
And I think it's either the just edgelord thing of like I sold my soul, or it's my problem with commitment where I don't have to prepare spells. So I have like serious anxiety when I am playing something that has to prepare spells. And I'm like, what if I don't? What if I don't choose the right spell? And it's nice because when you're a warlock, you're like, I get rid of that option.
I don't have to.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
That is so valid. Okay, so warlock
highly
is your
recommend
number
bards
one.
for that too.
Yeah. What about y'all? What are y'all's favorite classes?
Oh god, I'm a cleric player.
Boy.
All the way, 100%. Clerics love it.
I bet that one shot where I just destroyed the cleric class and all of its rules was just
It was
killing me, though.
fantastic. It was fantastic, and I won't hear any other way. No,
That
clerics
was
are
my
great.
first time playing a cleric, so
What did
I'll
you
have
think?
you know that.
You know what? We're gonna tease out if you hate clerics.
No, I like
You do?
doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
that's
was just worried that I was doing it wrong, which I know I was, but it was a fun time.
It was so much fun.
It was so good.
The premise was too good to
concept.
say no to. Whenever you asked for something, I was like, yeah, 100% that happens. I'm sorry.
Yes, it
I
does
just think
happen.
her and Michael got married, maybe, or had like at least a good run.
They eventually got out of that weird kingdom and
Yeah, dated.
Yes.
Oh my god.
What about you, Parker? What's your favorite class?
I used to always say Rangers. Aesthetically, they are still my go-to. But I'm a bard.
That used to be my favorite for sure.
I'm a bard.
You ever played that like horny bard? Sorry, Twee After
No.
Dark. I don't either.
I told Josh when I made the bard for the campaign that I play in Conundrum Company, I was like, I'm not making her super sexual. I was like purposefully like she's very awkward in those
"Thank
social situations.
God."
And I was like, I'm not gonna walk in here and trying to fuck everything that you see. Like I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna fuck every NPC that you put in front of me. Possibly just one. I was
Maybe
like,
one.
but like
I
after
commit.
a long commitment, after like
Yeah.
there'll be like 40 something episodes of build up.
Yeah.
I love my slow burn fanfic, but like I like legitimately I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I joke that, and like this is legitimately a thing, but like her name is Demi, and I was like, I made her demisexual.
I literally just had a thought that you just exploded my brain, and
What?
It's a lot of information for chat, but I personally am demisexual,
Yep.
and I grew up on slow burn fanfics.
Yep.
Is that the reason?
The catalyst.
Me too a million times.
Guys, we break down the important questions here
The important
accidentally. in
questions.
Highlight Heroes.
I gotta call my therapist.
I found this out in a D&D interview show.
I don't
is this
need
why?
you anymore.
My
this
world has
why?
been shattered.
Oh
But
my
like no,
God.
big same. But I legitimately was like, yeah, I'm making her demisexual. So like she looks and she's like, they're attractive. Okay, we're moving on now.
Okay,
That's-
bye.
Yeah, she.
Cute.
So
I
there's
would like to support them in their life endeavors, and maybe something will happen later.
Yeah, maybe later. Maybe
That's
later something will
so-
happen.
So wholesome.
Yeah, I've never played the stereotypical bard, but I used to play bards all the time, and when I would say that I was playing a bard to my DM, they would just be like, please don't be the horny bard. And I'm like, actually, I've never done that.
It's personally, in my opinion, and I'm sorry for anybody who's done it, it's overdone.
It's funny.
It's an overdone bit. It's an overdone bit. I'm like, okay, cool, but like, I've seen that 7 times. Like, could you make a different character? Like, could you...
don't see it that often too, but I hear about it a lot.
It got really popular media-wise, I think.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's not something that's played in, like, live plays a lot. Because of the stigma that already exists around it. It exists at the tabletop for decades. And I think that's where, like, you know, because a lot of us were playing it as, like, horny teenagers who were idiots. And that was what we were like, hey, you know what would be really funny if we played a character that was always like that. And then it became this, like, it's gross and immature.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, yeah. We all grow and we learn and...
Yeah. Not to say that I haven't played a horny bard.
And I know that sometimes there's not a lot of women at the table, and you feel like you're just memeing with people, and then as
super like expands. Common way for young people to realize their sexuality, flirting with their friends.
Yes, for sure.
in a fictional setting. My favorite.
My first character was handed to me, and I was handed a female sorcerer who was completely written and like.
Were you excited about it?
No, really? I had no idea what was going on. I did not elect to play Dungeons and Dragons the first time I played Dungeons and Dragons. I was told to play. Because I was at like a sleepover with some friends and they were like, this is what we're doing, you're gonna love this. And so I was handed a character and she was written very sexualized, and I'm not like a super overly sexual person to begin with. And all of them were flirting with me, and I had not anticipated. It was a very weird christening.
I'm picturing tiny like teenage Josh getting flirted by a bunch of teenage boys.
By a bunch of teenage boys. Thing. Yeah, I did not know what to
flirting is also very good.
Terrible.
Imitates life, and I bet you RP'd it like a real woman probably did. Like they were flirting with you, and you're like, thanks.
Maybe that's why
actually could you not
empathize a little bit. You know, I haven't suffered as many of my peers have in this space, obviously, given my privilege, but I've at least had a tiny little toe dipped into what it is like to be somebody in that space. Maybe that's where the empathy comes from. Who knows? We won't unpack that box.
Okay, we'll go from there. What's your favorite race?
Easy. Well, it's starting to change actually, but you know me. I love cosplaying my characters, and I love body painting, and I love tieflings. I think that I saw them at my first character I ever cosplayed was Starfire, and she's an orange person with green, totally green eyes, and I was just like.
So hard to cosplay.
They're basically Tamarinians, but they have the same eyes. They're whatever color you want them to be, but they have horns and fangs, which is even better. Lately, I've been playing Genasi, however you say it.
Perfect.
That is.
And
I love them.
I've been playing them as well with the new Warlock, a Warlock Genie class.
The Djinn, that's so good.
Yes. So I have been playing them, but I just love tieflings. I actually am doing a Pathfinder. No, actually, it's a D&D stream. We're doing a break, and we're doing 6 weeks of D&D. And
that's sweet.
I basically I made a human and then built it and took a feat, and then I changed it to a tiefling because I was like, no, I got to go back. And I basically traded the traits of a human for a tiefling because I was like, I just want it for aesthetics. You can take away Hellish Rebuke, you can take away this. I want this feat, but let me have my horns, please.
I just want to look like this.
Yeah.
Don't take my horns. Don't take my aesthetic.
Please. I
my
want
brand.
to look cool.
That's valid. And I mean, like, you know, there's rules in D&D now that allow for that a lot more as well. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's nice when you have like a DM that's like, yeah, as long as it's balanced, like, I don't care, we're making this up.
Yeah. As long as the rest of the party is being messed around, which they're not going to by that.
You're really good at that, Josh. Parker, I've never done a campaign where you're you DM. I'm sure you're great at this.
No
too,
one
I bet.
has.
I
Few
know.
people have. I'm working on getting her to do it again because it was very
One
good.
day.
I've done it.
I
I've
remember
done
you
it.
made a goal, right? And then
What?
you DM'd. You made it a goal on the channel. Did you DM
We
on the
talked
channel?
about it. We
You
talked
never
about
did
it.
it.
We never did it.
Parker
I
co-DM'd with pins for.
I did co-DM.
the
That is
session.
true. I
Fun.
co-DM'd. I will.
I bet that was very fun, actually.
was very
I'm
good.
working on a one shot, so
Woo!
we'll see. We'll see.
Yay. But yeah, Josh, I think that you're really good at being like, yeah, I mean, if it's fair, it
Yeah.
works. Like, just don't break the game.
Yeah, it's all about just manage. I mean, one of the DM's
Unless
jobs
it's
is
a
right.
one shot, then you're like, break it,
Yeah,
Amanda.
fuck this. Let's do
break
it.
it. Break it. I dare you.
Oh, so much fun. Okay.
I did see in chat a name for my cricket, Jiminy.
I do like that. That was my initial thought.
Good.
Was Jiminy.
You know, sometimes like chat just is the smartest place
Really.
on the planet. It's so weird. That is a brilliant freaking name.
Truly.
Oh my gosh. Well done, chat. This is not the questions. These are the announcements, Josh. Sorry.
Oh,
Okay, so you've told us your favorite class to play. Are there any classes you haven't played that you'd like to play, or classes you'd like to revisit?
I haven't been playing D&D that long. And like I said, I typically do one-shots. And at that time, I don't want to... You go to like level 5 or level 7, and I like to go back to something that I'm comfortable with so people aren't like, that's not how you do it, you know?
It's
So
very
there's
nerve-wracking, yeah.
Yeah. I think that Sally was the first artificer that I ever played, and Jane was the first cleric I ever played, obviously.
cosplay grounds are great for trying out different classes.
It's true. Yeah, I think so as well.
Sally
But
is a
I-
crazy complicated class, too, and you
It's
do a
so
great job with her.
good.
I actually am playing an artificer in my new campaign from level 1, so I'm like, I feel like we'll get it.
So when we do number 3, you're going to be a pro.
Absolutely. We're going to be level 20. We're going to be unstoppable.
That's right. Yeah!
I like
Just-
Amanda just putting it into the universe, so Josh
We're
can
going to be
take it
level
back.
20, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, be like, yeah, nice try.
It's crazy. You actually get hit by like a
a
de-aging ray, and you're now all level 6. It's really weird.
You're all children. You get to hang out with Shock.
As long as I get to keep my gun.
Yeah, as long as I get
Baby
my
with a
gun.
gun!
I would like to formally apologize to you how I jokingly said, I'm looking for a gun. And you just went, okay.
I just like the process. It was like, I'm looking for a gun. Actually, I am proficient in firearms. And then I was like, oh yeah, me too.
Yeah,
That
and
was-
we were like,
When you guys started looking at your proficiencies, I was like, okay, this is a real thing. Time to put some guns in the game.
I am so used to DMs going, haha, nice try. Like, I just assumed that that's what you were gonna do, and you did it. You were like, oh, I gotta just add this into the universe real quick.
Well,
I
think that's-
enjoyed the just look at your
bad.
character sheet. It's there now, and I was like, oh, okay.
It's very much like with Conundrum Company, like I'm very much more like, okay, this is structured, like I'm not gonna flex. I feel like particularly the Nightmare Before Halloween sessions, that it is Taz format. If you guys put something in the universe, we'll figure it out. Like it just becomes reality.
Like the economics system.
Very
Yeah.
And the underground drug ring of candy corn, like,
Yeah.
So good.
funny.
Oh,
It was
my
very
Lord.
funny.
Decided it was
But-
all or nothing.
I would like to play a druid, I think.
Ooh.
Going
They're
back.
so good.
I haven't played a druid, and I haven't played a monk just because I want to punch people until they're ground beef. Like, I'll be like, hey, you've had a lot of turns. Is it still your turn? And they're like, yeah, I'm a monk.
I'm still
And I'm
going.
like, okay.
They are the Energizer Bunny of classes.
Truly,
They really
yeah.
are.
Rock'em sock'em robots.
Oh man. Okay.
I'm sure y'all played Everett class. Is that a
I have
bold
not.
assumption? What have you
I've
not?
not. I've not played a blood hunter. I've not played a sorcerer. I've not played a. Oh god, there was another one. I've
Blood
not
Hunter
played.
is very fun.
Not played blood hunter. I've not played a sorcerer. I've not played. There's another one.
Raid.
I can't remember.
Hi
what it was.
Raiders.
Hello.
We're watching Parker
There's-
plumb the depths of her memory
We are. Save me.
in real time. Well, there's only one class I haven't played, because I keep forgetting it exists, and that is Blood Hunter.
Oh shoot, sorcerer. That was it. So, I also haven't played a sorcerer.
I have played a Blood Hunter, which is weird that y'all haven't, and I have. I played it for my friend's charity stream. It was like 8 hours long, and it was so fun. And I did what did I do? The ghost. There's like
nice. The
different. There's a
Phantom,
Lycan one.
Yeah.
There's like a
mutagens, yeah.
yes, like X-Men, and then there's like a ghost one, and she could phase in and out of like a ghost dimension, and she would see the ghosts and talk to them like
Nice.
they were real people,
Yeah,
and
they're-
it was a good time.
Oh, that's really
I like
cool.
playing Blood Hunters.
I've
a
heard
fun
they're fun.
flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very squishy.
Yeah,
They
I'm
like
afraid I'd
hurting
kill
themselves.
myself.
Yeah,
I'm afraid I would end up killing
very
myself.
squishy, and I think you hurt yourself in order to use your power, depending on which one you choose. But yeah, it was a tiefling. Surprise.
Surprise.
But I would love to play a druid.
God, druids are great. You would love druids.
They're one of my favorites.
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
actually made I do Secret Santa every year with a group of friends, and I made a bag for Mika Burton,
Nice.
and she was my person, and she plays a lot of druid, so I did a druid themed bag for her. And
Cute.
I was like making it, and I was like, this aesthetic is so nice. I love this. I want to play this. I want to be a happy tree lady, you know? And I just haven't done it yet. Every time I look at the warlock and I'm like, the kombucha girl, where I'm like, no. Well, no.
Well,
I want to see you make a super edgy druid. That's
A warlock druid,
yeah,
basically.
just a warlock druid. It's like a fae patron that has turned you into. You're forced to turn into animals and stuff, and you're like, oh my god.
I hate this. Or just like super edgy animals.
Ooh, yeah,
fair.
like a
Or like
shark.
she's
I don't know.
edgy and she turns into a bunny.
why was shark your go-to with edgy?
I don't know what edgy
Josh?
animals are.
Sharks are pretty edgy.
Yeah, dude. Thank
Terrified
you,
of them.
Amanda. I appreciate you backing me up.
I just wanted to know
Sure.
why that was the top.
I don't know. I guess because sharks have literal edges on them, and I'm an idiot.
Sharp,
Oh, you're not an idiot.
sharp edges.
Everything is puns, everyone.
Everything is puns. That's fair.
But so do you choose one animal that you can turn into, or can you turn into multiple animals?
So
can
the
turn into a
way
bunch.
the way it technically works, however, it's really at the DM's discretion, is it's based on challenge rating of the beasts. And you have access to beasts on those challenge ratings, but also at the DM's discretion, it's based on what the druid has seen. A lot of people just say you get access to everything within this challenge rating, depending on your level. But in kind of more traditional, it's like, okay, this is why Morton and Conundrum Company hunts animals to see, because then he gets those as wild shapes. So he's constantly like, hey,
I
is
like
there
that.
a seagull, Josh? Because I'd like to be a seagull now. And I'm like, yeah, you see a seagull.
Where are they? I want to see it.
There you go. So there's a couple of ways to handle it. But a lot of folks, in one-shots, I'm like, yeah, you get all the beasts. Have fun.
You can be whatever you'd like to be.
Yeah.
Not D&D, but Pathfinder. I'm playing a tattooed sorcerer.
Ooh.
And what is really cool about that is you get a familiar that's a tattoo on your back, and it phases in and out of your body.
That
That's
is
dope.
so
So
good.
that is a very cool subclass.
That's a,
His name's Laszlo. He wears a
cool
little
aesthetic.
hat, and he's a monkey, and I love him. I actually almost killed him last stream, but
That's
you're
incredible.
like not on purpose though. I do love him.
not on purpose. He's not as squishy as like a regular. He's much more squishy as than a regular familiar.
Yeah, the ones in Pathfinder are like 2 points. They're not much.
He has like 10 hit points.
But they do level up in
By a
Pathfinder.
crocodile.
Yeah.
No, mine doesn't for some reason. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Rude!
So just the tattoo
is-
ones don't.
I for some reason I don't think so.
that's-
I also have only gotten to level 4, so maybe different.
Pathfinder,
but-
you level slow.
It's a lot of math. I am spoiled by D&D, I think. where there's so many online things that just help you figure things out and you don't really have to math as much. When I go back to playing in person, I'm going to be like, hold on, give me a second. But yeah, whenever I'm making a Pathfinder character and playing it, I'm like, I need about 5 minutes for my turn. I got to math. It's a lot of math.
I got to think.
I gotta think.
Math. Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
How y'all looking?
You.
I can't pick mine up because they're covered in paint.
Cute.
It's
That's adorable.
That's really cute.
I love your color scheme.
Thanks. I'm gonna try by the end of the stream to figure out how to pronounce the spider, because I just found a picture of it and was like, that looks scary, and decided to paint it.
Oh, it's a real life spider.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
So last real life thing I did was I took the frog Hemoth and I made it look like a poison dart frog.
That was very good.
Cute.
So it was cute. So do you have a race you want to try next? I know we got a little off that question, but
Yes. I would like to try. What are the ones that artificers normally are? They were in. Start with an A. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up.
ASMR?
No, it may not start with an A. Oh, it starts with a V.
Oh, Vedalken.
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool.
Very cool. Hairless. Very neat.
Weird, strange out there.
Yeah, I want to try them.
That's the first time we've gotten that answer, too. That's a good one.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that they're very neat. I like trying the, side DLC characters, I would say. Call them DLC characters.
Yeah, the main ones, you have to get them in the DLC, because the main ones are just humans, dwarves, and elves.
Yes.
And, halflings.
Played a goblin, and I would like to play a goblin, because I
goblins.
feel like a goblin sometimes.
That's fair.
Goblins are
Yeah.
the most freeing race in Dungeons
Yeah.
and Dragons, I swear to God.
Truly.
All the feral comes out.
I was thinking about doing a goblin for my artificer that's coming out, my tiefling artificer.
Ooh.
And I know that we're gonna cosplay it, so I was like, no.
I'm good.
No, and I made her a very natural, close to my skin tone. I was like, no, can't.
That's fair.
Wise.
When I start thinking about characters that I'm going to fall in love with, I'm like, will I commit to cosplaying this though?
Yeah.
Will I
I
commit?
have everything to do and not cosplay, and I just still haven't done it because the world is I just want to hang out with friends and drink and not,
Yep.
I don't want
You
to
wanna
do
not-
it for
not.
at home. I
You
want
wanna
to not be at home. Not
Yep. You're like, I need to be in a situation where I can really appreciate being not.
exactly.
That's beautiful.
So a convention at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Hashtag deed.
It's our bonding.
This is our bonding moment.
I'm glad that's come
Okay.
up.
I'm gonna go grab my fabric to put this in the cricket real quick.
Okay, here, I'm going to ask you this question to think about on your way,
Okay.
okay? What's your least favorite class to play? 3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, bye.
I'm covered in paint.
I have already messed up. But
Oh
it's fine.
no! It looks really good. It looks
Thanks.
beautiful.
It's definitely a mess up I think I can save. It was just that's not where I meant to do that.
We just have,
Oopsie.
in mini painting, we have happy little mistakes.
I also will probably get a nicer thing of paintbrushes now that I'm doing this
Regularly.
quite a bit. Yeah, I was like, oops.
They're expensive
Oopsie.
paintbrushes. Good paintbrushes
They
are not cheap.
are. Well, I had one break and I recently got this detail one, and I was like, oh, it's so nice. Oh no, should I
It
get
makes
new
a
ones?
huge difference.
I was like, should I get new ones? I was like, oh my god.
If people hand me an acrylic brush, I don't know what to do with it. I can't paint for the life of me without a good paintbrush.
Yeah, I'm like, what do I do with this? Yeah, who knows? Who knows? How goes your dwarf statues? Are you painting them like the Underdark?
They're massive, and are taking 1 billion hours to get the base coat on because I didn't
Ooh.
prime them. So
That's pretty
literally all I've done is paint gray for the last 40 minutes.
It's a pretty gray though.
It is a pretty gray. It's like this slate gray. And then
It's
what
a
I'm going to
good
do
gray.
is like bronze and gold and silver accents. And then work them back over with some more of this so that they look like sort of painted gilded stone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty hyped. I think it's going to be good.
They're
Amanda's
cool.
It looks very cool.
You're back.
I am. I've returned. I knew the answer to that question
The moment I asked it.
before I even left, and I know that this is probably a very popular question or popular answer. But I hate being human.
That's valid.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
always a valid answer.
Yeah, I don't like being a human. It's a fantasy world. I'm human regularly. I don't want to be me. You know, I want to be a cool horned fang lady or a djinn or like very neat creatures.
You're like,
Something
I want to be the coolest fantasy version of myself possible. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yes. Also don't really like being elves as well.
That's also an
Because-
answer we get quite a bit.
Yeah, it's just
They're the vanilla of
typical.
D&D.
Absolutely, I think. What about you guys? I want to know.
Well,
My least favorite?
Yes.
we've actually never
I'm
been asked to
sorry.
answer this question.
I'm sorry, Josh.
Really?
I know what's coming, and
Are you gonna say
Apologize.
tiefling?
No, I'm going to say dwarves.
Oh.
I
Parker
just
hates the best
aesthetically...
race in D&D.
Okay, I don't. So here we go. So I love when other people play dwarves. I
Hmm.
don't like playing dwarves because I don't connect to that aesthetic.
Sure,
I
yeah.
am not a hearty food. That's actually okay. No, so some of the dwarf aesthetic does make sense. I was gonna say like dark beer, and then I was like, that's also wrong.
As you
but,
start
like,
talking about it, you're gonna be like,
as
"Holy
there-
shit, dwarves are the best race
Oh
ever!"
my god.
okay, but like, let's go back to me saying that I have to cosplay those characters. I don't look good in a beard, and I do know that. But like, I just don't connect
either.
aesthetically. Shut up.
Oh,
It's you
like,
do.
dwarves, they have a lot of things that me and you both like, but they have specific social traits that I don't think we usually
Yep.
like.
When I
Yeah,
will
we're,
say the social
Abrasive
traits are
and like, ah.
they're stigmatized a
Yeah.
lot as well as like a specific way, which I will also say is the case for the elves.
Elves,
Like if
yeah.
you delve into the lore, there are so many varied types of dwarves across it that are just completely different operationally and culturally, but the stigmas are so there that it's valid. It's the same reason I know why people dislike dwarves, and it's the same reason that people dislike elves, and it's a valid reason. It is.
Yeah. It feels like you have to play those races as like one specific thing, or like you're doing it wrong. Where with like Ganassi, there's not like other races. There just aren't as many like stereotypes yet. So it's like, oh, I can be this, and nobody's gonna like call me on it.
See,
Yeah.
the funny thing is the reason that I like the common races as opposed to a lot of the fantasy races is once you start to read the lore, Dragonborn, Ganassi, Tieflings are incredibly limited in their lore requirements. I can be a dwarf that was a merchant from frickin' the most regular place on the planet, like, or I could be a dwarf that came from the Nine Hells. But like, and you could do this with any race, really. But lore-wise, there are actually a lot more restrictions placed on the exotics than the common races, which is why I actually tend to fall in the common races a lot of the time when I do it. I also love monstrous races, so anything that's on the monstrous race list is loved. But least favorite? No, none of them are ones that I wouldn't play, I think. Least appealing? I always struggle with elves for the same reason Parker struggles with dwarves.
This is our opposite moment.
It's so valid. And I don't really see the appeal in furbolgs.
Being a cow person,
Yeah.
I've never really wanted to be a cow
Turtle.
person either. And also,
I
like,
love turtles.
oh, turtles. I don't get turtles though. Aren't you also
Turtles
very?
and loxodons.
I
yeah,
love loxodons.
I love seeing them and meeting them, but if someone gave me a character and they
To
were like,
play?
"You're playing this character," and I was a loxodon, I'd be like, "No." Okay, yeah, I'll do it.
I
But,
nearly
like,
put a loxodon in Sean's campaign.
That would have been fun.
I have one in a campaign that I'm starting on Wednesday.
I like watching people play those.
They're great.
I did do a charity stream once where chat bought character race class, things like that for the charity. And two people one person got a Loxodon, one person got a Turtle, one person got a Dragonborn, and it was a cosplay stream.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing how we didn't see each other till the day of, but seeing how their different interpretations of being those races was very fun. Like the person who was the Dragonborn did like a very like makeup based, like scales on the face and had wings. Then the turtle was literally a Ninja Turtle. Like some people memed it. Some people did like very cool fashion looks. I think it's fun.
I love them. That's so good.
It was just like, I'm Donatello. And I'm like, of course you are.
What? It's so weird where we draw the line, too, because I was literally like, why don't I find furbolgs appealing? And I was like, for the same reasons that I find turtles appealing, which is that they're mellow, laid back, sort of, generally speaking. And I love that in turtles, and I don't know why I dislike it in furbolgs. It's not fair. And Commune, I love you. Shush, quiet.
Because turtles, they just look like little old people.
I feel like they have to be old people. I feel like they have to be old people.
Maybe that's why I like them.
Old people.
Shush your face. You are not that old.
Listen, we're all there together.
That's
Once
right.
we pass 24, it doesn't matter anymore.
It's all downhill.
We're all the same age.
Yeah, after that, you can't tell.
It doesn't count.
We're wise.
Oh, thank you, Amanda. I feel a lot better. Appreciate it. Okay, I think this is a Parker question up next, right?
It is. Sorry, I was focusing because I keep getting red where I don't need it to be.
Allow me to distract Parker from her painting. Ha!
Thank you. I believe we're on. No, that's not it. Oh, geez. Hello.
Least
me.
favorite.
Least favorite race to play and why? Didn't we just do that?
I did class, I believe.
We kind of just went into it organically.
No, we did race.
I asked the wrong question. Which is your least favorite class? Did I ask you that?
No, I haven't. Been
okay, I screwed up and then threw Parker to the wolves.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Parker.
I wasn't paying enough attention.
Improvising. We're adapting.
We warned you that this was going to happen.
We're doing it.
So you're good.
I think that any tank character, like a barbarian, things like that, just because I never play tanks, I'm not the one that's like, I'm going to go in first. Like, me as generally a person, I am very much like, I'm going to wait and see what happens before I do what I'm going to do. So I should play more tanks just for fun to see how I handle it. But typically even in games, I play like range DPS and things like that. I'm never the upfront person.
You're a very good support player as well.
Yeah.
Which is rare.
Support and like range, whatever it is, like something far away. So in video games, I always play support.
Support characters in D&D are so important, and not everyone can play them well or enjoy them.
Yeah.
So,
except for when we all almost died yesterday, and I was just chilling with like 3 potions of greater restoration. Like,
it's fine. It's fine.
When you said, "Could we kill this thing?" I went, "Please do not try." In my head.
I was about to light it, honestly.
Josh was like, I have a whole 3rd episode planned. I can't have you die here. He's like, I can't.
That was one of those.
I was sitting on that blight spell. That's why I didn't use fabricate. And then he died. So he died. And I was like, you know what? I'm almost dead, so that works. It's fine.
You guys kicked the crap out of him.
Yeah, that stomp thing was like crazy. I was like, hello? Goodbye?
Yep. It's true. And then when Pins made the body disappear with the...
And we're all like, hey, wait.
Whole other round that we had to do. That was so funny.
You finished the fight and then restarted it.
And then made a fight. We made another fight. It was, hey,
it was a good time.
Good.
I love that Shock also took the circlet. I thought that was cute. That was very cute.
I
Okay.
love me some chaotic neutral.
That means okay, guys, we're getting close to the end here. We've got a few more questions, then it's your chance. So cue them up, highlight them so they're easy for us to see. And if you aren't able to highlight, there are other people in chat who tend to highlight for you, and they'll do it with your name on it, okay? But last few questions. The first is, Amanda, you make a ton of content across multiple platforms. How do you get into content creation? What's your origin story?
I think it's working at Disney World. Well, yeah, I guess it would be working at Disney World. Just being I never did anything creative in high school except for, I did fine arts, but I didn't do anything forward facing. And then I went to a audition with a friend, and I ended up getting the job. And I was like, you know what, this is really fun, like performing and putting on a costume and things like that. And so I mixed my fine arts love with my newfound love of performing, and I was like, I'm just gonna make cosplays and do things like that, and it was a good time.
That's all she wrote, huh?
That's all she wrote.
And now you're here
Now I'm
doing
here.
all of the things.
It's very fun.
All
Twitch,
those
however, I just got into because I've always played video games, and I was like, I might as well just do it on camera. I'm doing it. I think that's the same way that y'all are with tabletop games. Like, you're like, we're going to be doing it anyways. Might as well just share it with the world.
That was
is
literally
legitimately
Conundrum Company.
how Conundrum Company started streaming,
We're
and
gonna
how
be playing.
that's how Twee got started.
That's so fun.
Very
I
fun.
love what
Stream
y'all
it?
made, and seeing all the stuff that y'all have done since y'all have made it. It's awesome to see how much y'all have grown and like all the things that y'all are doing.
Well, thank you
It's
for being
very
a part
cool,
of it.
guys.
Thank you for being a
Of
part of it.
course, I love being a part of it.
So I think I have our technical last question,
You do.
and then we're up for audience questions. So Amanda, what would you consider your biggest hobby outside of tabletop gaming or D&D?
It changes. I've got rampant ADHD. I would have to say cosplay, I think, even though I haven't. I feel like a sham saying it now because, nobody's cosplayed in the last year, really. Like, I haven't
kind of,
really.
sort of.
I thrive on con crunch, and when there's no con crunch,
I've seen it.
yeah, it's a anomaly, honestly.
It's a master. Like, you have to master that.
It's true, and I will be like, I have like a month to make this thing now, and guess what? It never gets made. But I would say cosplay. I like computers in general. I've recently been modding Switches.
That's cool.
Oh.
I put some LED lights in my Switch, and I'm obsessed with it.
Oh.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a good time, and you can take your Switch and just be like, oh, I have my very own, and that's a fun thing. Anything that I can make something with my hands. I think I have like a little bit of anxiety, and just making things helps always, for sure.
A creative, down to your very bones, down to your very
Truly.
core. Okay. So, with all of these questions, God, that's cool. I love the little orange thumb covers.
That's so cool.
No, I think it's cute.
So we're gonna start asking you now some important questions from our fantastic folks in chat. I think the first one here comes from Tanner Mythalidor. This is a good question. This is a classic. If you could cast Find Familiar in real life, what would your familiar be?
Oh, I know what it would be. Some people are going to be weirded out, but it would definitely be a rat.
Okay.
I love rats. I've had multiple pet rats. I used to work Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, and there was a girl that got paid a lot of money to lay in a glass coffin and have 20 rats crawl all over her. And she just laid there, and they just like walked on her, and she just got paid to do that. And I was like, 1, weird. 2, rats are nice. And she was like, yeah. And she would let me hold them on the break. And I was like, I love these things. These are great. And I've had like 4 rats, and they learn tricks. One of my rats played the piano. Like, they're so smart. I love them.
That's adorable.
Mine would definitely be a rat, even though they live like 3 years at the most. But
Poor beasties. That's
I know.
cool. That's the first time we've ever gotten that answer, I think, and it's a wholesome answer.
I want to know y'all's. Sorry, I know I keep throwing these questions back at y'all, but
I don't know if I've ever been asked the familiar question.
I don't know that I have either.
you had a bat familiar in one of our one shots that was very cute.
Yeah, I had a bat that was really, really cute. I love sky puppies.
Sky puppies.
I love sky puppies. I love me some sky puppies. I also love ravens. I think they're really interesting, and that's the familiar that my witch and Pathfinder has.
Matt, you know Maddie, right?
Mm-hmm.
My good friend Maddie. I think she's always like, I would love a raven.
Yeah,
and I can definitely see you with one as well.
Yeah, I think I would probably pick a raven or a bat. I just really like the idea of familiars that fly.
Yeah.
And also I can have a pet cat and a pet dog. Like, I want the raven and the bat to talk to me.
They help. I have a friend of mine in our regular home campaign, and he has a bat named Robert Battinson.
Nice. 10 out of 10.
Stop.
Does he sparkle?
He has a white little mohawk.
Ooh, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, he should.
I love this. He should.
What about you, Josh?
Oh, I mean, so when I use familiars, I am a warlock. I've never used familiars as a wizard or a bard or anything like that. So they tend to be the warlock familiar list. I don't think you could go wrong with an imp. I really don't think you could. I know
they go invisible.
If I could bring from the fantasy world into the real world a creature, I think it would be an imp.
Really?
Flight. They're sassy. I could have a friend finally for the first. No, I'm kidding.
Hush your face.
I'm sorry. Self-deprecation is my brain. I'm sorry.
I know it is.
I am currently
your
doing a warlock. Pact of the Genie, and in that you get something called bottled respite, and I'm sure you guys already know, but for chat, you get to go in your genie bottle, take a short rest in 10 minutes, and it's decorated however the bottle looks. It's very cool, but you stay in there as long as you want, up to 2 hours, up to 2 hours. And I tried to get an imp, because you go invisible and your familiar could carry it, and you have invisible transport.
You could just be walking around.
They said they nixed it. They were like, "That's broken," and I was like, "You're right."
That's pretty valid. But God, that's a really
You're right, so let me do it.
You're diabolical, aren't you, Amanda?
I mean,
a little bit sometimes.
You're allowed to say no, but I'm also allowed to ask.
You are absolutely. That's valid. I think if I had to pick
equivalent of I can certainly try.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a real life animal, I don't know what it would be.
It'd be sassy.
That's sassy is actually.
You already
familiar,
have it. Yeah.
If it wasn't sassy, can I have a bear familiar?
Why not?
Yeah. Cool.
It would be an owl bear.
Yeah. Ooh, baby owl bear.
Yeah.
That's cute.
It makes sense.
Okay.
I love that.
Okay. Our next question. I love how deep we're getting into these questions. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from the Manned Hound. They just want to know your favorite type of pizza, and I'm going to add a D&D twist to this. Pick a favorite D&D pizza for yourself, and a favorite pizza for yourself, and a favorite pizza for your D&D character.
Ooh, okay.
It's a contemplative smile.
This is a important question. This defines you in the future.
It really does. Personally, for myself, I like basically spinach. I love a good caprese or Mediterranean.
Mm-hmm.
But I like mushrooms and olives and chicken on them as well.
Ooh,
so
wow,
those are very good.
That's a fancy
I like anything
pizza.
with spinach, mushrooms, olives. I don't like ham, and I don't like pineapple. So a Hawaiian, I'm not into it. I'm not going to shame you for your love of pineapples on pizza, but I don't like it. I eat almost anything, so it's more of the what do you not like?
Mm-hmm.
But I do love every vegetable on there pretty much, and then maybe chicken. For my D&D character, she's a water genasi, and I would have to say Oh, something with spinach and like water chestnuts, kelp, a kelp pizza.
I love that.
I took my water ganassi. I was like, her favorite food is sushi. And then after I put it on the Instagram, I was like, Josh, is there sushi in the world?
There is
Like,
now.
absolutely.
I was like,
Sure.
is there sushi? Because
There's raw fish. We're making
there's
it.
rice.
Problem solved.
It's fine.
It's like
yeah.
us. Is there a car? Yeah, there is now.
Sure.
I guess.
Oh,
You get
Lord.
it.
So, is there a TTRPG system outside of D&D and Pathfinder that you really enjoy or you'd like to try out? I'm sorry, I haven't been saying people's names. This is from Library of Lost Tales. Oh, no, I have been. I just didn't do it for this one. Yeah. My memory.
You're good.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, hey, if you haven't played Tales from the Loop, try it because it's fun because one, it's kids, so they're like, please don't give the kids guns. And it's
Valid.
like you can die, obviously, because it's a tabletop game. But they're like, just remember you're playing children, please. That's all we ask of you. And you play stereotypes, so you play like the preppy person or like the loner or the geek, and they have stats based on that. And it's set in the 80s, but they have weird rustic technology, kind of like Star Wars, I guess, but not space travel.
Sure.
So they have like old rustic robots walking around and things like that. And
It's very Fallout-esque. That's the vibe I'm
Exactly.
getting. Like if the
Yes.
nuclear holocaust hadn't happened.
but it's not like a nuclear fallout. It's like pre that. But you have like cute 80s clothes and you have cute 80s design, but you have all this fun tech and you have tech monsters, and I love it. It's a good time.
That's awesome.
And their anthology series on Amazon is really sad, but it's really good. It's heart-wrenching.
We love sad, but good.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's the best kind. Okay, what time are we at? Are you okay with us going just a little bit longer, Witchy?
I have been asking y'all. I'm sorry.
Do
but
not
yes,
apologize.
no.
It's always the best when our guests do that. We appreciate it. We'll get a few more questions. Sorry, guys, if we don't get to your questions, all of them, because there are a bunch of good ones in here. We're gonna get through a few more. This is from Cremaniac 040. What was the weirdest and funniest thing to happen to you and or your D&D party that might have broken the DM?
I'm sure that it happened in one of our one-shots. At least. Probably. I feel like when we did the last one-shot with the cleric, where you allowed me to summon an entire corporation, I think that was very fun. Because, you're always like, what's your favorite? And you're like, one that I made the DM go, oh, no, what? Okay, I guess. So I think that was very fun.
That was that did break me in that it was so funny and such a unique idea. I remember, you get me when I roll back into the chair, and I definitely did the roll back. It got me.
I love the characterizations you gave these summoning spells. You gave them like full characters. All the like interns, you were like, oh, you gonna go to a kegger after this?
There was
like,
a Chad.
Chad.
And then
Oh,
at the
Chad.
end, we're like, and then we went to the kegger.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
I was playing a child in that one too.
Sure.
Man.
I love that.
Josh's one shots are just me being like, how many kids can I make drink?
Yeah, and it's me being like, come to this kegger, or here, have this bottle of vodka.
Yeah. You small child.
Here you go.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is the last time I'm going to ask you guys. I want to know that for y'all as well. What was because I know that y'all played a lot more than me. So, like, yours has to be, like, really good.
See, the funny thing is I probably don't remember it. Josh, could you tell me mine? When did I break you?
When did you break me? Oh my God, Parker. I don't know. 44 episodes worth of opportunity there.
I know.
I do know when I broke a DM. And it's just absolutely feral.
Oh, wait.
My goblin rogue burnt down an entire town because he lost a faux mayoral debate that he believed he should have won. Yeah.
Shortly following, 8. A deck of many things.
And then, that definitely, yeah. I saw the deck of many things and immediately put one in my mouth. At which point, Sean, not to be outdone, put 2 in his mouth. So then I put another one in my mouth, and so we
I
were
watched
eating.
an abject horror.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. It was the same.
The same
session?
character, different session, but same
Different
character.
session.
The most feral things on the planet, that squad.
I love that.
And our DM just kind of 404.
Yeah, it was like, this is what happens.
they're like, you what? Yeah, we do that. They were very good about dealing with us. Being us, they handled us well, but this is us when we want to unwind. We just throw chaos into the mix to see what happens.
You want to frown at murder hobos, but sometimes you have to let your murder hobo just come out once every couple years.
Well, and
and put it away.
We play very, very serious, intentional, inclusive, respectful Dungeons and Dragons in front of an audience a lot, and sometimes you just want to be a doofus.
So sometimes off stream it gets feral.
Out there, yeah.
I don't know that I have one. To be fair, before I started playing again with Josh, I hadn't played for like 2 years.
Yeah.
So like I played Pathfinder in college, but I didn't play a ton. I played off and on, and so my longest running campaign is the one that we're currently doing, so Conundrum Company, and I play a very logical character. I usually am the person that follows everyone else. It's like, please don't fucking do that. Like, don't. Like, her tagline is, oh no. Like, I don't.
She's so reasonable. Shock yesterday, honestly, with the sneezing powder.
That was
very
fun.
good.
That was fun. My bad.
That was pretty.
Because you couldn't tell Josh what it actually was until it was.
He has my character sheet.
Don't you do that to me!
You should have seen it. It was one of the items that he let us have.
That's so funny.
Hold on, let me put all these plates down to juggle this other plate.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. No, but I enjoy it
you.
because the item itself literally says if you identify it, it appears as something else. And I took it because I was like, of course she's going to use that at some point to like pull some prank. And then I was like, oh, this is like a genuinely like good thing. They'll just walk away with it, and like then later they'll suffer. And then they did it then, and she was like, or now. Now it's fine too.
Broke all of us too, because we came over and we were like, well, we don't want to get caught, but we don't want to save them.
Yeah, what do we do with these?
Can I just throw these bodies in the river, please?
I think what did it for me, Parker, was the look you had on your face when you handed it to me. And I was trying to process through what it was. I hadn't because I hadn't been able to check that. I missed it. I was running through and I was doing a bunch of other things. And I saw this look on your face and I was like, what has she done? Whatever it is, it's happening now. I'm not letting it walk away.
Well, because I was like, it's the dust of invisibility, and I was like, and now I'm lying. I would like to. I was like, I am lying.
I'd like to roll deception.
You can't lie. I'm God. Okay, you can lie.
You
can lie. Plus 13. Yeah. So it was fun. I enjoyed playing those characters every once in a while. In our Pathfinder game, I also made a character that's not necessarily chaotic, but not logical, because I do a lot of that on Saturdays.
Yeah.
I do a lot
I typically play chaotic characters because I think that's my security blanket in real life, where if I feel awkward, I'm like, I'm gonna do something weird and I'm gonna make it weird. So I'm like, I'll play that character, and I really want to play like a logical, either like a very nerdy, like sheltered character that's like, guys, I don't want to do it, but we need to switch.
Yeah, we can absolutely. We'll switch one time.
Yeah,
it'll be great.
Yep.
Okay, one more. We're gonna do one last question, and then we're gonna close out, guys. That question is, wow. Posted for Vaults by Library of Lost Tales. If you could play any monster as a player character, so the whole monster manual, heck, Toma Beast, any other supplemental monster you can think of as a player character, what monster would you play? Anything.
This is lame. I'm gonna be so lame, but actually, no, I think a bugbear would be cute.
That would be cute. I love bugbears.
I would want to play just a basic, like, low-level skeleton. Name him Bonesy. And just and then be like, hey, guys. Like,
Oh my
and, like,
up?
he falls
God.
apart constantly, but, like, there's a necromancer in the group, and he's still alive, and so they send him into places. And he's like, you're our scout because you're never going to die. Go in there, Bonesy.
I love
So
the idea of an
he's that
immortal
character from
but weak
Hades.
character.
He's the little skeleton in Hades that you beat up the whole time. And he
Yep,
comes back.
exactly.
And he comes back.
Gets you the weapons.
God, that is inspired. That is such a good character
I kind of love that.
concept.
I just kind of want to. I want an NPC that's that. I want somebody.
forget about it.
I want a necromancer to have a best friend named Bonesy.
An unseen servant, but make him see.
Make him seen.
He needs to be really low level and easily destroyed.
Yeah.
Like, he can't really do much, but he's there.
But he
I-
always comes back.
Yeah.
I love the idea of a character that levels slower than the rest of the group, but is immortal.
Yeah, so, like, granted, I'm not gonna go in and like kill anybody, but I have the armor of knowing I'll never fully die.
Mhm.
So like, I'll go in and do the dumb things. Like,
Yeah. And after a little bit, you reassemble.
yeah,
I want, and I'm saying this on a stream, but I want a cosplay ground episode where we all like do this monster question, like we all just play as monsters and hunt like a party.
that would be very fun.
That sounds like something we've got to do.
That would be actually.
Wouldn't that
very
be really
fun.
cute?
Yeah,
It's
I
just
would
a bunch
love
of
that.
monsters hunting a party.
We're just trying, or we're like chilling, like, and the party is coming into our dungeon, and we're like, what the fuck is up? We're just.
And
We're
then we
playing
backtrace.
Xbox.
We have to kill them. You start with a battle and then you backtrace to figure out who sent them. Like what?
Yeah.
Or you guys, like, in one session, you build the dungeon to, like, your specification based off of your monster characters, and then it is, like, pretty much trying to beat the party. Because there's a video game. Dungeons 1, 2, and 3 is literally this. You maintain a dungeon with the monsters in it. And you guys could literally, we could do a D&D version of that.
They had a DLC. They had a DLC for Dragon Age Origins where you played the monsters side. Like you played like a
That's
little like
fun.
mini
I
thing as
love
the
that
monsters.
idea.
And I just love the idea of like everybody being like, I'm gonna character stat this monster as a PC and we're gonna do that. Like
Who
that
would your
sounds like
character
fun.
be? I'm throwing the question back. I hate that I keep doing this. But
You're golden.
I have answered this one. I want to be a displacer beast.
oh, that would be cool.
But play it like a tabaxi, I guess. But with blinking.
I always forget my answer to this question. I've answered it as well. I'm
I
pretty sure I
felt
said
like it was an
gelatinous cube.
owl bear or or gelatinous cube.
Gelatinous
Gelatinous
cube.
I
cube.
think you did.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I
What
think
would your
that's
name
fair.
be?
As a gelatinous cube,
Yeah.
pudding.
This is just funny. You're just on the couch.
He ate the couch. He is the couch.
Parker is the only competent one. Bonesy and Puddin' are
Bonesy and Puddin'. They're like besties. They like freaking hang out in the back.
I just like fist bump you, but I get sucked. in.
Yeah. Oh, not again.
I'm a pure white displacer beast named Marie.
Yeah.
She's like a very smart cat.
Amazing. You're like, why do I hang out with these?
Why is this who I'm here with?
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yes, this is
Yes.
fantastic.
Oh God.
Bonesy, Puddin', and Marie. I'm gonna
That's it.
draw them.
That is.
Please
a
do.
squad. Oh my god.
Please do. Oh my
Oh,
God.
that was a good time.
Oh
my God.
no. Well, I'm putting that on the books. I
Oh,
guess.
I love these shows. They always the best crap comes out of them.
They have the best ideas. The best ideas come out of these shows.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Witchy. Thank you. Oh my god.
No, thank you. I'm gonna have a great little piece of art to post later.
Oh, okay.
You want
So
to show?
yes,
what we did?
let's show our
Please.
accomplishments. Parker, what do you got? Your masterpiece.
He's done.
A little
There it goes.
distracted.
Wow, look at that. God, that's
There it
terrifying.
is.
I love the patterning on the
Yeah.
legs.
Thanks. It's like
Yeah,
based
that
off
is-
a real spider that's in Nicaragua and very, very dangerous.
I want you to post a picture of the spider in the Discord. And
I
then
will do that.
The real life
Here's-
and the Parker paint.
Yes.
I will
Yes.
do that.
This is
Absolutely.
I painted a lot of gray.
Ooh. There's some
Those are
shoulder
really,
things there.
Really cool minis, though.
Yeah, they're great terrain pieces. I'm really excited. I
Yeah.
might build out of foam a door to like go in between them, like a big dwarven door. That's my
That
Moss
would be
on them
very
on
cool.
the side.
Yeah, I have the stuff for
Yeah.
that. So
That's awesome.
What about you? What do you got for us, Witchy?
I haven't printed it yet because your questions were just so funny. I wasn't paying attention.
We're having too much fun.
I did make this.
It's
It will be
so
printed
cute.
out, and it'll be on like a pink leather, and then have like a foil. The lettering's going to be foil. I'll post it once I.
This
once I
is
print it
very
in Discord.
cute.
Yes, well, Parker
Oh,
usually puts it on the
beautiful.
Instagram too. 'Cause
I
Parker-
do the
Okay,
thing.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, okay, thank you, Witchy. And can you tell everyone one more time where to find you?
You can find me on Instagram at witchy.brew, Twitter at Witchy Brew with 2 W's at the end, and Twitch at regular old Witchy Brew. And yeah, hopefully I'll be back to streaming. I just got a job, guys. It was my
Which
first
is
day
important.
today.
Congratulations.
First day today. So now that I have a job and I'm a functioning member of society again, which, I mean, I didn't have a job for a really long time. So if you don't have a job right now, please don't feel bad. We're all there. But I will be back streaming soon.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Very exciting. Well, and guys, we have a few last little announcements that will close out. Just really quickly, we want to thank our partners, Soundtail, who brings all the ambiance, Elderwood, who's partners with us for working on their Kickstarter. Check out their Kickstarter, per Parker earlier. Relaris Maps, who makes all these amazing maps that we take a look at. And of course, Arcane Anthems, who does all of our intro songs for our shows, and also makes a bunch of free D&D music on Patreon. Keep up with that, mods! Sorry, guys, I rattled that off fast. And also,
That was
Parker,
fast.
what have you got?
I'm here to tell you that we are affiliated with Found Familiar Coffee. Please use the code in chat to get 10% off of your D&D inspired coffee orders. They're really, really fun. And I usually drink Faced Up, and I really should consider getting False Life because I should use some decaf coffee at some point in my life.
I love that they named their decaf false life.
It's so, the names are so good. Also, the art on it is just, it's fantastic.
I'm gonna order some.
Now that I've yelled at our mods, do you want to do the mod announcements? And
I will do the mod announcement. Thank you so much, mods, for making this one of the best places to be on the internet. Thank you for keeping us safe. Thanks for keeping up with our random chatter. And thanks for being here. We really appreciate you.
You guys are the best. Thank you again, Amanda, for playing
Thanks,
this
Amanda.
weekend.
Thanks.
And for hanging out with us.
You guys, I've had so much exposure to you guys. I'm like, I'm just gonna call y'all tomorrow.
Yeah,
Miss you.
we'll just talk.
We gotta talk about some
tomorrow.
more D&D stuff. Oh,
Plan our one shot.
all right, everybody. Well, we'll raid here in a second. I see a whole bunch of people up and running, so we'll stay with us, and everybody, bye.
Bye.